This is Lydia Brambila with the Procurement Division of the Finance Department. The pre-requisition to purchase order process involves two platforms, K2Forms and ECAPS. This video will walk you through the ECAPS side of the process, which includes renaming your requisition, linking your procurement contract, double-checking your ship-to location, adding distributions if you need to, checking your budget, and submitting. Once your pre-requisition has been approved by Procurement Services in K2, it will batch process over to ECAPS. This process happens twice a day, the first time at noon and the second time at 9 p.m. Once your requisition has been built in ECAPS, you will receive an email that will look similar to the one I have on my screen here. It will say requisition built, the pre-requisition number, who it was submitted by, and for which supplier. This email is your cue to go into ECAPS, complete the last few steps of the process, and submit your requisition for final approval. In ECAPS, we will go ahead and navigate to Manage Requisitions. You'll use your menu, scroll down to e-procurement, and Manage Requisitions. Once in Manage Requisitions, there are a few different ways that you can search for your requisition. If you know the dates that it batch processed over from K2, you can enter those dates in here with your requester ID and click search. You can also directly type in your requisition ID number. This ID number was emailed to you in that requisition built email notification. If we know our ID number, we can type that in and click search. All new requisitions will look similar to this line here. You'll have your requisition ID. The requisition name will be a duplicate of the requisition ID. You'll have the date that the requisition was built in ECAPS. Your request state will be open. This is also an indicator that this requisition needs to be processed and submitted for final approval. Your budget will be not checked, and then your total will be the same as your K2 total before tax. The next thing we'll do is use this Select Action menu. We will click Edit, and then we'll click Go. In the Edit Requisition, Review, and Submit screen, you will have 6 steps to take, and then you can submit your requisition for final approval. Step 1 is to rename your requisition. If you choose not to take this step, your requisition name will stay as your requisition ID number. You can change this name to whatever helps you and your division stay organized. The most common naming convention that we see is the fiscal year and then the supplier name. Step 2 is to link your procurement contract. This is a very important mandatory step for all requisitions related to procurement contracts. You'll need to click this details icon. It'll open up your line details for line 1. You'll notice that your amount only box is already checked thanks to K2. Keep scrolling. We will work in this contract information section. You can directly type in your procurement contract number. All procurement contracts will start with PRC and then the identification number, or you can look up your procurement contract. You'll go ahead and click this larger search icon. You'll notice that your supplier is already preloaded into here. We can go ahead and click search to bring up all of the procurement contracts related to this supplier. The contract reference tab and the contract detail tab will give you the most information regarding this procurement contract. You'll see the line description that's on the procurement contract loaded here. But most importantly, you'll see in this last column the contract remaining amount. This is how much you have available on this procurement contract. This number will start to decrease as you continue to encumber additional funds on this PO or any other POs related to this contract. We can go ahead and select our procurement contract and click OK. You'll see the contract ID load into this space. We can scroll to the bottom and click OK. The procurement contract needs to be linked to every line of the purchase order, so we will go ahead and link the same contract to line 2, click the icon, scroll to the contract information section, and then we can just type in our procurement contract number. Select our contract for Taylor, and then scroll down and click OK. Again, most importantly, your procurement contract must be linked to every line of your purchase order. So you will need to go down and use this details icon for every line. Step 3 will be to double check my ship to location. I can do that by expanding the section of each line, double checking if this is the correct address. If it's not, I can add a one-time address for this line. I can also do the same for line 2. Check my ship to. If that's incorrect, I can add a one-time address. Step 4 is adding any distributions to my lines. I can expand the accounting lines to show my funding information. If I need to add any additional distributions, I can click this plus sign and include any other funding information that I need. If I am not planning on adding any distributions, then I do not need to take this step. Step 5 is scrolling to the bottom of my screen, checking my budget. If this message pops up, this is okay, you can just click the OK button. Scroll down to the bottom. We want to see that our budget checking status is valid. Once it says valid, then we can go ahead and take step 6, which is to save and submit. Once you've submitted your requisition for final approval in ECAPS, you'll see this confirmation page. As soon as the requisition is approved in ECAPS, it will come over to procurement services and we will be able to get you a dispatched purchase order.